let's gain an insight into navigating our interface as well as our 3D character. And I would like to bring your attention right over here to the editing tools. These tools, top set of tools, is designed to edit individual joints or locations within the character itself. Now, if we mouse over it, you're going to notice that we're going to have shortcuts in parentheses. R for rotate, W for twist, T for translate, and so forth. Now, I highly recommend that if you learn a new shortcut, please use it every time, or else you're going to forget. And shortcuts are really going to help you to improve your workflow and speed in the 3D program. Let's bring your attention now to the camera navigational tools. We are seeing everything through cameras in Poser, and this is very, very important. Because if I just want to see the hands, I can go to the hand camera. If I would like to see the head, I can go to the head camera. Well, actually, let's try it. These three tools here, head, right hand, left hand. Let's click on the head camera. That'll automatically jump to what we call, well, technically the face camera. And by navigating my trackball or rotating my trackball, I can rotate around the head. So what's going on here? There is actually a separate camera set up just for the head, and it's rotating or using the head as the center point in which it's rotating. So that way you stay focused right on the face, and we can make any type of adjustments to the facial features and characters. In this case, in Poser 8, by default, you get the skeletal type character, and we're going to just temporarily work here so it gives you a feeling, it gives you less distractions while we're learning our navigational here. Now, how about if we go to the right hand? Click on the right hand, pops to the right hand. Left hand, it automatically jumps to the left hand. Now, how many other cameras do we have in Poser? Right over here you see a little triangle, and if I click on it, we have a whole list of cameras used. Auxiliary camera, there's our main we had originally, and we can see it from the left view or the right view. We're going to cover all these in just a little bit, but how about if we go back and jump back to main? If we use the Control or Command M, and obviously I'm using a PC, so on a Macintosh, just remember Command for the Control and Option for Alt, and you'll be fine. The shortcuts will be exactly the same. So I can select this little menu here, or I can use my controller Command M, and that will take us right back to our main camera view. Okay, so now we're seeing the camera, seeing the object as we had originally. So let's take a look at some of our navigationals. We just actually played around with the trackball for navigating around our character, and look what we have here. We're working in 3D space. Your x-axis is moving left to right. If we move the mouse up and down while we're left clicking, we're going into our Z depth. Z going in and out. That's that third dimension that basically throws most two-dimensional artists off immediately, and 3D annoys them, so they have a tendency not to integrate into their workflow. But Poser has really made this much, much easier. We have other navigational tools. Now look at the very top. The menu is going to change here. If I mouse over the hand, you have the Y and Z axis. Y is up and down. Okay, and if we move right to left with the mouse, now we're moving into Z. So this particular tool here allows you your Y move and your Z depth move. On the other tool right over here, we have the X move and your Y move. So up and down for Y, and left and right for the X. Alright, so what I would like to share with you now, which I think is very important, is understanding some shortcuts for navigating your interface. I would like to bring your attention, as I move the trackball, take a look at the light controls right below your trackball. Notice you have three separate lights that are spinning around. Well, the trackball is basically spinning around your camera. So your camera is moving around in 3D space, so all of your lights, because they're fixed, is giving you a representation of your 3D space being, the perspective of 3D space from the main camera view. Now, to rotate in 3D space, the shortcut, hold down your Alt or Option if you're on a Macintosh, and left click your mouse, and you can navigate around just like you did with your trackball. Moving it around, spinning it around the object, you can see from the top. We can click and hold and view it from the bottom. As you can see, we can see our shadows there as well. Shadows don't do anything. They just basically give you an idea where your object is touching on the ground plane. How about panning your subject? Spacebar, just like in Photoshop, hold the spacebar around and you can pan your document. And this allows you to pan in what directions? Your Y and your X. Well, we can't go in Z depth here, right? With Z depth is in and out. That's our third dimension. That's a dimension that we don't have in 2D digital art programs like Photoshop. So we will hold down both the Command or Control and your space bar together, and click and hold your left click your mouse and zoom in and out by moving your mouse up and down. Okay, so this allows you to get in close. It's getting real close to our character. And if we release the two, the Command and the space bar, and just hold down the space bar, we can now begin to pan to get a closer look at our character. If we hold down the Alt or Option, we can move around and see other portions of the character. Alright, now let's say we want to jump back to what we had originally. We want to reset everything to its default settings. Under your Edit menu, we're going to select Restore, and we can restore individual elements or we can restore all. Pretty simple, huh? Alright, so let's go forward and start giving you other visual cues that you need to be aware of when it comes to posing your individual joints in your character.